This is for my website on small traumas. A lot of people don't think about small traumas as a problem, but they can be. They are they sneak up on you. They're subtle. They cause subtle behavioral modification. Uh, the example I like to use the most is what a lot of us experience: everyday traffic, driving. We will be driving along on our route to work every day, and we can do it day in and day out. Then one day, we start having someone who keeps cutting us off, or not just one person, but we start seeing more of a uh, less pleasurable driving experience on the route we're taking. And people are cutting us off. People are distracted. They're doing all these things that make us nervous. And we have close encounters of someone almost running into us. And it becomes more and more of an experience that is negative. We don't think much about that. Everyday life, right? You don't have to go into shock long for it to cause you a problem. You can go into shock for a second and it can cause you a problem. Getting cut off when you're driving, boom, can make you go into shock for just a second. And that can ruin your whole day. It will impress upon you all sorts of all sorts of emotions, anywhere from that scared the heck out of me to anger. What the heck were they thinking? Well, okay, so you've got a small traumatic event. Okay, the behavioral modification that comes with it, you may decide you're not going to drive that route anymore and you look for another one. Big deal, right? With our society today, there's a lot of people. So there can be a lot of small traumatic events that keep modifying our behavior and making us uncomfortable because you no longer feel like you have the ability to feel good. You're always under tension. That is the downside to the small traumatic events. They build up. Slowly but surely they build up. And at some point, you just start saying you're not happy. You may sit there and say, well, it must be my job. Or it must be something at home that I'm doing. Not necessarily. It could possibly be just the small things that happen to you during the day when you're wandering around, going to work, going to get groceries. The small traumatic events, even people just bumping into your cart at a grocery store, can cause you a little bit of a shock, especially depending upon what they do. If they curse you out or stare at you, that has energy behind it. And you put energy behind it. And you've just hurt each other. As a shaman, the way I see small traumatic events are just that, small traumatic events. And they build up and they slowly modify your behavior in possibly a negative fashion. And that negative fashion ends up carrying negative energy with it. So how do my recordings help? It's actually very simple. Let's get rid of the negative energy. So you can see what puts you in this position of small traumatic event modification behavior. then you can learn from the experiences and decide how you want to react, how you want to do things. Even if it just takes away the nervous, scared tension of driving down the road or going a specific route because you were getting caught off all the time. Wouldn't that be nice not to feel that? That's what my recordings will do, is take away that negative. So you're not on edge about it. You know, and you can sit there and say, I know, last time I went this route, I got cut off. But at that point, taking the energy behind the negative energy from behind it, you can rationalize it out and say, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen today. And it's not personal even if it does happen. See, that's the other part of this, is eventually people start taking the small traumatic events personal because they become personal. They start hurting. They start affecting us. Not just in driving. Then they start affecting us at work. We carry it through the day. We carry it when we go home to our loved ones. It just becomes a real overall rotten feeling. That's small traumatic events. And that's the reason I touch upon it, is because even though they're small traumatic events, they can have a very big effect on our everyday attitude. So please consider that, and consider what I've just said. I hope this finds you well today. And I hope my recordings help you find the light at the end of your tunnel. Thank you.